Hi, in this short video we're going to take a look at Ally, and Ally is a plugin for Moodle that'll help instructors to gauge the accessibility of content. In addition to providing you with insight on your content accessibility, it can automatically create alternative versions of your file, so that can allow students to pick what type of file best suits their needs. And it's a pretty amazing little tool. Now it doesn't do everything for you. However, it's the best tool we've seen so far, and it is improving on a daily basis. So let's go ahead and take a look at this tool and how this works. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you a couple of documents that I have. I'm going to scroll down. I'm in the accessibility workshop page here, and you'll see under resources and activities I have two PDFs. I have Who's Responsible for Accessibility of Online Courses and the Web Accessibility Handbook. And let's take a look at just one other document too, just so we can see how well this works. I'm in Unit 1 here. Whoops. Let me scroll down here. I'm in Unit 1 here, and we have something called Creating Accessible Digital Content. This is a PowerPoint, whereas the other two were actually PDFs. So I'm going to turn Ally on. It's already installed into Moodle. This is all you have to do in order to turn this on. Oops, let's see. Let me get back up to the top and go to my gear icon, and I'm going to come down to Filters. And then I'm going to scroll down to the very bottom and you'll see Ally, and I'm going to turn it on. Now if you have a lot of documents, I only have maybe 6 or 7 documents on this whole course, but if you had a lot of documents, it would take a while to filter through all of your documents. So now that we've done that, I'm going to head back to the main course, and let's see how we did. Couple of things you're going to notice. So here's one right here, creating accessible digital content. Now do you see the little gauge here? And it's a green gauge. And let me blow this up quite a bit so that you can really see it. You can see that little green gauge. So it's telling me that I have a high score on this particular document. And this is a PowerPoint document. Still, even though it's highly accessible, it may be that a student needs it in a different format or would prefer it in a different format. Maybe they don't have the PowerPoint, the latest version of PowerPoint at home. They can come over to this download icon, click on this. They can either download this to their desktop to view in PowerPoint, or they could go to alternative formats. And now it's telling you have several different alternative formats. So some of these may or may not make sense to you, but if a student is used to using alternative formats, it certainly will make sense to them. But you can see here we have choices of a tagged PDF, so they could get a PDF. It could be done in HTML to view on a browser. It can be done as an EPUB book for an iPad or other ebook readers. It can do electronic braille. I find that to be absolutely amazing. Or it can do an MP3 for listening. So it's pretty amazing what it can do here. Or, like I said, you can just download the document as it is. Now let's take a look at another document. Let's go down to those other two documents. Now you're going to see there is no gauge next to either of these documents. Now the reason for this is because these documents are hosted on a different website. I actually linked to the Instructional Design Services website, and that's where this document is located. So it does not have the capability to say crawl out and go to another website to see if that particular document is accessible. Now what this works for, what Ally is working for us, is for the LMS and for documents within the LMS. What it won't tell us is about making web pages themselves accessible. Like, let's say a good example would be, let's say I have resources and activities right here. I have that beautiful blue background behind it, and what if I had white text? It would be very difficult to read. Ally would not pick that up because it's designed strictly to pick up documents. And so there are some drawbacks to it, but at the same time you can see how valuable this could be. Now let's take a look at a document. I ran a test document. Let's see down here. And you can see here this document I'm in the orange. And so what that means is I can see by the little gauge it says my score is medium, and I could click on it to improve it. So I'm going to click on this to see what it says. And this is a great little scorecard here. It says I'm at 43%. And what it's going to do over here is show me where my issues are. So it looks like from looking at this that I have 3 images here that do not have alternative text. And alternative text is like a little tooltip, you know, when you scroll over something and it'll tell you about that image. And it's also something screen readers can pick up to inform someone about what the image is about. And let's see. And what it shows me here is it says the PDF contains images that are missing a description. If I didn't know what this means, I could click on this and I could read about the description or the alt text. When I'm done, I could click close. And then here it says how to add the descriptions. And here's different ways. It says, can you get a hold of the original editable version of this file? And then you'd work your way through their prompts here. The easiest thing to do with any of these documents, and it's really almost always necessary, is that you have the original document to work on. Sometimes we can do a workaround, but usually having the original document is what's needed. And okay, I've closed that one out. So I could go back and see it says over here on the left side, 1 of 3 issues. So I'm going to move down to issue number 2 and issue number 3. So those are my only issues on the document. That's not too bad, to be honest with you. The rest of this docket means that it is accessible, and it could be read by a screen reader, or it could be audio captured. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out. So now you've seen how that works, and you've seen how to turn it on and off. Very easy to do. So what I want you to do now is I want you to go back to that course that you ran the checklist through, and then go ahead and turn Ally on and see how you do. And just take a look and go in. You don't need to correct any documents at this time, but just go in and find the ones here and see what it says and poke around and see if you're understanding how Ally works. Now at the ATC and also Instructional Design Services, we're happy to help you when you identify what documents need to be worked on. We're happy to help you get those documents up to speed. Now some documentation cannot necessarily be made accessible, and so in that case we would either figure out a way to recreate the document or get a hold of your original document so that we can make the changes. If ever you have students that come into your class and they have a documentation from CAR, an accessibility plan, then it is up to CAR to help you with these documents. But we're here to help educate you and to be proactive and try to get everything as close to accessible as possible. Anyway, please contact us for further information, and that's idservices@lanecc.edu, or you can go into the ATC. All right, that's it for now. I hope you give Ally a try.